Hey y'all, it's the Country Notary. Hope you're having a great day. As always, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm doing multiple things this morning at the same time. Driving to work. I took a little time off this morning because I had to meet a contractor at my house to talk about the remodel, the renovation. The remodel has taken a somewhat of a delay, and hopefully after this morning's conversation we're back on track. If I didn't say it already, as always, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So I had to do this video while driving to work this morning because the information is fresh in my mind and I didn't want to let it lapse too long before I forgot, but I wanted to share with you guys. I am not quitting the loan signing agent business. Am not quitting. And we know interest rates are up, refis are down, the bubble for the loan signing agent industry, for our part of the industry anyway, peaked during quarantine, and many of us made a lot of money. Some people actually got into the business just because of the money, because of the hot videos they were seeing on YouTube and the Instagram posts, and the trainers, marketing. Becoming a loan signing agent was a huge thing during 2020, 2021. It's been around for a while. It'll continue to be around, but it peaked drastically, increased drastically during the quarantine period, and we benefited from that, me included. And now interest rates are up, refis are down, notifications are down, orders are down. Many have quit. I personally am not quitting. Yesterday, actually this week, this is the last week of May, I've been receiving a lot of notifications. You typically receive a lot of notifications during the last week of the month because many are trying to close, transactions are trying to close before the month rolls over, funding before the month rolls over, especially in the area that I work. I do a lot of property tax loans. A lot of those loans have to be funded by the last day of the month so that the client, the signer, doesn't incur more interest and penalties that are attached at the beginning of the next month. So activity is usually a little higher in the last week of the month, along with other notifications that I've been receiving. A couple of debt settlement notices, a couple of sellers packages. Those have been what I've been seeing lately. People are selling stuff because I think I mentioned in a previous video, people get a little money, cash poor during inflationary times, and they have to sometimes sell off property or sell off assets to make money. I'm doing the same thing myself. I'm going to do another video today. If I'm wearing the same shirt later today, that's why, because I have lots of topics, but I want to keep them separate and put some separate videos out there. So I am not quitting. I'm actually growing. I'm going to give you an example of how this market is allowing me to stay in the game and keep making money. I'm making money in this market and using my opportunities efficiently, taking advantage of opportunities and compartmentalizing things in efficient sectors. I'm going to talk about my day yesterday, and I have about 8 minutes before I walk into my classroom. Okay, yesterday I received a notification for a property tax loan Monday, I think it was earlier this week. Tried to make the appointment with the client. They were busy, and we wound up rescheduling a couple of times, and the appointment was yesterday. After work, we had graduation practice actually, so after work, went out, did the closing. This particular client owns multiple rental properties, and I've met with him a couple of times last year because he refinanced his property tax loan. This is the third time. He owns multiple rental properties, and last year I wasn't in a position to make an offer on any of his properties. He talked about selling some of his properties last year, but I wasn't in a position to purchase anything last year. I had just started researching and learning about real estate investing, didn't have a down payment, didn't have capital, pulled a couple of comps on a property that he was interested in selling, and basically threw that in line with the other research that I was doing. Met with him again yesterday, which would have been about 6 months since we saw each other. 6 months went by really quickly, by the way. Time goes quickly. It's a whole nother video as well. And at the end of the appointment, he asked me, so how's your business going? He actually asked me how my business was going during the appointment and said, let's save that until after the closing, because I don't want to mix the two and just get through the closing. I don't like mixing, you know, conversations while we're working, as well as, you know, I always worry about the conflict of interest part of it. So we closed, put documents and all my materials back in my bag, and we started talking about those properties again that he has for sale. He's actually now in the escrow portion of 3 of his properties are in escrow right now, and he still has about 4 properties in his portfolio that he's thinking about selling. He gave me the address of 2 of them. I drove around and looked at them. We had a great conversation about my goals, his goals. He's on the phasing out end of his real estate portfolio. I am trying to build a real estate portfolio myself, transitioning, wouldn't even say transitioning, applying the knowledge that I've learned as a mobile notary loan signing agent, the knowledge that I've learned as a loan packager, loan processor, something else that I've been dabbling in recently, training in, about to start with a new client. That I actually have a new client today that I'll be meeting with this evening virtually. So my knowledge that I've learned from the real estate document and the real estate closing and loan packaging aspect of the business, I'm applying that knowledge and doing my research and growing my knowledge on the real estate investing side. Now, I'm trying to drive and not get in a wreck. Okay, so we talked about his goals, talked about my goals. He gave me the addresses of 2 of his properties to go take a look at. And as things worked out, I had a property on one of the lists that I've pulled from the city that I live in that is 5 minutes from his house. So I said, you know what, while I'm here, I'm gonna go take a look at this property. It's on the demolition list. So here's why I'm doing this video. I'm gonna talk to you guys about how an efficient day works and why you shouldn't quit, as well as taking advantage of opportunities that are right in front of you and knowledge that you've stored and that you've built over these last couple of years, and how you can apply it to something new that you can still grow and make money with. Okay, real estate investing sounds like a big word and very large and ambiguous area to jump into, but like myself, if you take small steps and put those steps together, it could turn into something. It could turn into something lucrative. Okay, so here's where I am. Left the signer's house, 5 minutes down the road, looked at a property on the demolition list. It was really run down and dilapidated. It was leaning, not something that I could feasibly invest in and be interested in, because it would be way too big of a project for me. From there, about 7 or 8 minutes further, went and took a look at the 2 properties that the first property that this particular signer gave me the address of. Not a bad rental house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath house. It has a renter in it. Looked like it had a little roof damage. It had a tarp on it for some reason, and it could have been in much better condition, but had a renter in it. He told me that house rents for $900 a month. Made a note of the issues that I had, concerns that I had. Drove to a general notary appointment that I had, which was not much further from that particular rental property. And the reason I'm mentioning most of this is because, as we know, gas prices are high. So I plan a route that I'm going to take and make sure that I follow an efficient route, because driving all over town, even though I'm driving for future profits, still makes sense to have an efficient route to save money and save gas. Okay, so went to the general notary job, met with the client, notarized their documents, made $27, made my gas money. And literally the previous signer's second rental property was 2 blocks from the location where I had the general notary job. And as a fact, he actually referred me to this general notary job a couple of days prior. So that worked out. Went and looked at the second property, not bad, had a renter in it. Looked like they had been living there for like 20 years. They had so much stuff just piled outside of the house, gardening, equipment, just stuff everywhere. But it was well lived in. It was rented. Made a note of it and put that in the memory book for save for later list. Save for later list. Okay, so efficient day. Went home, scanned back the documents, dropped them in FedEx, went to Sam's Club, did a couple of errands, came back to the house. Actually went and looked at a third property that the general notary job told me that his family may be interested in selling. One of the things that I'm doing, I'm going to talk about this in a subsequent video, is creating a funnel, a sales funnel for myself. As I meet with people, I let them know, hey, I'm looking to buy vacant lots or rental properties, looking to buy homes. If you know anyone selling a home, let me know, just in casual conversation. And they told me about a property that is family inherited that they might be selling, but they're not sure yet. So on my way home, I drove by and looked at it as well. And I take notes, log all this in my journal. Got to the house, very tired as always, winding down for the day, and I get a text message from a good friend. What are you doing? What are you doing? LOL. And she goes, so you come over. My nephew, who lives in New York, who's a huge vlogger on YouTube, a big YouTuber, thousands and thousands of followers, is in town, and his time was very short. And she goes, Mike's here, Alicia's here, can you come over and visit for a while? And I was on the tail end of my day and really tired, looking forward to go to sleep. But you know what? I never miss an opportunity to visit with family, especially family that I adore like them, who I don't see that often. Put my stuff back on, packed my purse, and went over. And we had a amazing visit. Spent about 3 hours visiting with them, talking to them about, catching up on things, talking to Mike, my nephew, about business. He is a superior YouTuber. Follow his channel, D as in David, G as in George Collections. He does lots of videos on lifestyle, cars, fitness. He's mostly automotive, and he's very talented, and he actually gave me a lot of tips going to help me with my channel. So visited with Mike, visited with Alicia. She's also a local businesswoman herself. His aunt, who is basically would be my sister-in-law, so to speak. That situation was different, and we had a great visit. Mike gave me a lot of tips for my YouTube channel. So totally glad that I went and visited with them, because it definitely led to opportunities for me to improve my channel and the aesthetic of my channel, which is something I'm working on, and motivated me to get up this morning, put on makeup, and do this video. Okay, very efficient day, got a lot accomplished, did some notary jobs, looked at some properties, met with family, masterminded with some like-minded individuals, and it was a very productive day all along. I actually did get a little bit more sleep last night as a result as well. Opportunities are out there, guys. Don't quit. This video proves that your loan signing agent knowledge can be applied to other areas. Real estate investing, YouTubing, masterminding with other people. My sister-in-law Alicia has an office space that she's thinking of converting it to a share space for other business people to come in and just book by the hour. Share space. We talked about that during that session. All of this happened within about a 5 or 6 hour window, and I think I made $140 yesterday as well, just on between the notary job and the property tax loan job. Don't quit, guys. Get creative. Think of ways that you can take your business to that next level. I just had to do this video this morning because I was so excited and motivated to talk about my day yesterday, and it's just an introduction to topics that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in the very near future. I'm at the job now. I need to go in my classroom before I get fired. I will talk to you guys soon. It's the Country Notary. Have a great day.